Alright, so we're going to do some problem solving investigation. So our strategy is we're going to work backwards today. Alright? So, before we get started, we're going to do a little bit of our order of operation. Okay? We're going to put parentheses, the multiplication sign, division sign, addition sign, subtraction sign into these equations in order to make them equal something. I am going to be nice and do the first one, and then you guys are going to do some on your own in your board. So, number one. Now, there are multiple different ways to get these answers. Alright? And I'll show you in a minute that their answers probably won't look anything like ours, but that's fine. So, what I am going to do is, I know that 5 minus 4 is 1. Right? I also know that 3 minus 2 is 1. Right?
Yeah.
And I know that anything multiplied by 1 is itself. So therefore, 5 minus 4 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. So 1 times 1 is 1. Now, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to do this on your own, and we'll come back to it. So, the next one's going to equal 3, so I know it's going to have to be more than the one that I had at the first, right? So, who came up with a way that they think works to make it 3? Yes, sir. I'm going to add 5 and 4 and put parentheses around it. Multiply 3 times 2 and put parentheses around it. And subtract them. 5 plus 4 is?
9.
3 times 2 is?
6.
9 minus 6 is?
3.
You're the man. Good job. Alright, the next one. I need to make it equal 2. Need to make it equal 2. Yes, Mr. Reed. You erased your whiteboard? Yeah, that's not good. Okay, Jeremiah. 5 minus 4 with parentheses. Plus 3 minus 2. Now, you remembered up here we have 1 times 1 equals 1. So you just made it 1 plus 1 equals 2. Good job. Good job. All right. Our last one is going to equal to 4. Yes, sir? I'm going to add the first one. So 5 plus 4? And that's 9. Subtract. But when we added, we did that one up here, and we added 5 and 4 and got 9, and subtracted 3 times 2, we got 3. So we can't subtract 3 times 2. 3 plus 2? Right. So we can subtract that. So 9 minus 5 equals 4. Okay? And just to show you that, there are other ways to do it. So if you got a different answer, that doesn't mean that you got the wrong answer. It just means that you got a different answer. All right. This is a review from last night's homework. I want you to take a second and on your whiteboards do problems 1 through 4. Okay. So the first one, we're going to add 8 and 4. So 8 plus 4
times.
And we're going to put it in parentheses because in order to do order of operation, if you're going to add first, when you're multiplying also, you have to have in parentheses. Then we're going to multiply by 2. Multiply by 2. Okay? Now, next one says divide
2 by 3.
12 by 3, then subtract 1. So 12 divide 3, subtract 1. Okay? Do I need parentheses?
No.
No, because division comes first in order of operation, and that's the way they told us to do it, right? Okay, the next one, it says subtract 5 from 20, then divide by 3. So if I'm going to subtract 5 from 20, my 20 has to go first. So 20, subtract 5. And because I need to subtract first, and the next thing is division, it needs to be in parentheses, and then divide by 3. Okay? Last one, it says multiply 6 and 4, then divide by 2. 6 multiplied by 4 divided by 2. Do I need to put parentheses around anything?
Yes. Yes. If you want to. You don't.
According to order of operation, I'm going to do multiplication and division in order. If I do these in order, 6 times 4 divided by 2. So 6 times 4 is 24, divided by 2 is 12. Because order of operation says that you do multiplication and division in order, I'm fine. Because my multiplication problem becomes before my division problem. Okay? Alright. Now we're continuing on. Yes. So, there's your answers right there for your Common Core quick check. Even though we've already did them and talked about them. Alright, next one. We're going to learn about the strategy that we're actually going to be using today. Okay? Alright, whiteboards are erased. Hands are on your desk. Everybody's eyes are up here. It says, the Nature Club raised $125 to buy and install birdhouses at a wildlife site. Each house costs $5. It costs $75 to rent a bus so the members can travel to the site. How many boxes can the club buy? So, we want to look at what facts do we know. How much money is available to buy and install the nesting boxes? Okay, no hands, I'll pick some. Camille? How much money is available to buy and install the nesting boxes? Denise. Okay, the two of you should probably stop talking to each other so we can pay attention to what we're doing. Okay? No? Showalter. $125. Okay. Now each box is going to cost us how much? Okay, I'm coming back to you, Camille. $5. Thank you for paying attention. And the bus rental is going to cost what, Denise?
$75.
Thank you. Now, what are we going to try to find here? What are we going to try to find here? Gibbard? How many boxes the club can buy, right? Okay? Now we're going to plan out what we're going to do. So if we take our highlighter, and this is on a math problem, if you just go through and you highlight all the numbers, you're going to be pretty close to being able to figure out exactly what information you need. And then typically your last sentence right there. So the numbers in your last sentence will let you know how you're going to set it up, okay? Now, moving on. So you can see you guys got all your answers correct. Good job. Now, we're going to start solving.
We got too many PRHs.
Now I don't get to go on the PRA trip. Okay. We're still working on the same question. We're planning, we're solving. Okay, here we go. It says, the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to subtract the cost of the bus, correct? Okay, so after we subtract the cost of the bus, then we have to find out how many of the $5 bird boxes we can buy. How are we going to find that out? Yes, sir. All right, well, no, we're subtracting the bus. So right here, this is going to be, we're going to subtract the cost of the bus, 125 minus 75. But then we need to find out, once we get that answer, we have to find out how many boxes we can buy with it. So what are we going to do after that? Okay. Yes, we're going to divide it by the $5 that each box is going to cost. Okay? So let's work it out. 125 minus 75. Class? 50. Now we come over and we take our 50 and we divide that by?
5.
So 50 divided by 5 is?
10.
So how many boxes can be bought?
10.
Now checking our work, all we're going to do is, okay, we solved it. Now we're going to go backwards just to make sure it makes sense. Okay? So we're going to multiply. We're going to do the opposite of everything. So if we divided 50 by 5, we're going to multiply 5 by what?
10.
10. So 10 times 5 equals 50. Then we're going to add that to the 75 we spent on the bus to see if we get 125, which we do. So our answer is good. Give you a little smiley face, and we get to move on. There's your answers. Okay. So we're going to do a little practice together, and then you guys will be ready to get on your own. I'm going to use my trusty highlighter, and we're going to start highlighting the information that we have from the question. Okay, it says, what facts do you know? It says, Mr. Evans bought the items listed. He had $5 left over. How much did Mr. Evans have to start with? So, how much did Mr. Evans have left over? 5. What on this page is going to show us what he spent?
The items purchased.
Items purchased. So he bought a toothpaste, a toothbrush, and floss, right? And what do we want to know? How much he started with. So how much did he give the cashier for her to give him back $5? Okay?
$7.
So what facts do we know? We know that Mr. Evans has $5 after buying toothpaste, a toothbrush, and floss. That's what we know. Put a comma there. Right? What are we going to find?
How much he started with. How much he started with.
Right. So how much he had before his purchase. Right? Okay. So that's what we're working with. And my A's are looking horrible, but that's alright. Moving on. So, we're going to plan this out a little bit. How are we going to do this? You know last night how we started setting everything up? We kind of want to do that right now. So we know that we have two different things going on here, right? We have the amount of money that's in his pocket. How much does he have in his pocket? He has 5. Then we have how much he spent. So 5 equals what he has. Okay? So then we have the amount that he spent. How do we find out how much he spent? Add all these together, right? Okay. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take our 5 and we're going to add that to what he spent, which I'm going to put it in parentheses. It doesn't have to be because it's all going to be addition, but just because it separates and it shows us the 2 different parts. So we have 5 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, and that equals what he started with. Okay? And the reason why I do this is because this is how much he spent. So 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So now we have 5 plus 7. So how much did he have to begin with? $12. Okay? Now what they're going to ask you is if your answer is reasonable and to explain. So the way you do that is you take it and you flip our problem around. So we did 5 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 equals 12, right? Well, we know that he started with 12. Then he spent all of this. And then he was left with how much? And I know my writing, yeah. So 4 plus 2 plus 1 you said is 7, correct? So we have 12 minus 7 equals 5. Is that correct? Yes? Good, you get another smiley face. You did good. And a tongue for Mr. Reed. Alright. So there you go, your answer is correct. Now, good. I'm glad you saw it. Because I'm about to turn off the projector and I'm going to go slide by slide and put all the answers up.
What?
Which means you'll have the answers to every single problem on your math homework.
Yay.
As long as you look at the video tonight. However, just because you have the answers does not mean that you finished your homework, correct?
You have to show your work.
Right. So, your homework tonight is going to be 501 and 502. Correct? Isn't it 501 and 502? I'm sorry, 501 and 502 is what you're going to be doing on your own. That's your independent work. 1 through 10. I am going to show every single answer on your video, your YouTube video. Now, if your work is not shown tomorrow, your homework is not done. But because of the way that we're doing this, I think it's important that you guys be able to see, okay, did I end up with the right answer? No. Okay, do I need parentheses in here? What do I need? And I think showing you the answers will give you that, help you figure that out. Okay? So, yes, sir?
So, is 501 and 502 homework or 502 homework?
It's written on the back wall. I've said it twice. Yes, sir. I showed you how to get there 3 times. Okay. So there's number 1.